Hi, fourth graders. All right, today is Thursday the 4th. Today we wore our positive shirts. We had our reading CFA and AWARE, and we just finished up reading tutorials just now. So we started off in math measuring adjacent angles. So if you go to your activities, go down to math. Open up your graph. Like that. All right, so this starts off, there's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All right, so this starts off talking about just some of the vocabulary. So there's 3 new words that we are going to learn today. So the first one is adjacent, and adjacent just means next to. And so here, let me move me out of the way. Here's an example of angles that are adjacent because these are next to each other. So this 40-degree angle is right next to the 140-degree angle. And then these are an example of angles that are not adjacent. And if you notice, they're still next to each other, but they're not sharing that same vertex. So right here, how these are sharing that point, notice this one is G and this one is K. These are split apart. So they are supplementary, meaning that they add up to 180 degrees, but they're not adjacent because they don't share that point there. All right, so here, supplementary again, these are angles that add up to 180 degrees. So angle C would add with angle D, and this plus this would equal that straight angle 180. So when I take this part and combine them, you get 180 degrees. Then complementary angles, you've got angle A and angle B. When I take this portion and combine it with this part, so these 2 parts, add them together, you get 90 degrees. So you can see that 90-degree angle there. So a couple words to go back to and reference if you need. And the first one we did, let me erase all this. All right, and let me let's see, I'll move right over here. All right, so this first one that we did, you've got a angle here. And the angle, the whole thing is ABC. And so, where's let me get my stylus. All right, so what we know so far, let me see if I have my pencil on. Nope. All right, so what we know so far is ABC, this whole angle right here, this all right there, measures 86 degrees. So angle ABC equals 80 degrees. And I noticed that that's the whole thing. So I'm going to put 86 as my whole. And then I noticed that 86 has been split into 2 parts. There's one part right here that's 58 degrees. So I'm going to put that as a part. And then there's another part right here that's missing. So I'm just going to put a little question mark. And so if I know the total, and I know angle DBC, which is one of the parts, is 58 degrees, then when I have a whole and I have a part and I need the missing part, I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to do 86 minus 58, subtract, and that'll give me my missing part. Okay, so here, if you think back to go all the way back to first grade and think about what it means when you have part whole. We know that if we combine this piece and this piece, it's going to give us the whole thing, which needs to add up to 86. So this is 28 degrees. Okay, then over here on this next one, you've got two parts broken up. One of the parts we know is 75. One we don't know. Okay, so this is the 75 part. This is the part where we don't know. And when we put those two together, they equal this whole thing, which is 140. So again, I have a whole, the 140. I have a part, 75. I'm going to subtract to find the missing part, and that gives me 65 degrees. All right, on this next one, move me over there. Same thing. I've got two parts. There's one little piece right here, 12. And there's another little piece right here that I don't know. And then this other piece that is the total is 45. It's covering up this part right here and this part. So that's the whole. So 45 degrees minus 12 degrees gives us 33 degrees. So that would be the missing part. Now to check these, all you have to do is take the two parts. So let's say 33 and 12. So there's my two parts. I'm going to add them together, and I get 3 and 2 is 5, and 3 and 1 is 4. So if that adds back up to that whole, then I know I did it correctly. So that's just a little way you can check yourself. After that, on page 16, you have some word problems. So we read these, but then students solved them on their own. So it says ABC has a measurement. Now with these, you need to be careful because with these, you have to go in and you have to add it. So you or add in the numbers to the drawing with the angles here. So be very careful because if you label the wrong angle, or like if you put it as a part and it's actually the whole, that's going to mess up your whole thing. So be careful. So it says A, B, C. So here's A, B, C. So notice that's the whole angle here is got a measurement. So this whole thing right here is 116. So that whole thing, 116. All right, then ABD. So here's ABD. So this little section right here is 47. So I see that that's a part. And then we want to know DBC. So I want to know this part. So here I've got a total, I've got a part. I need to find the missing part. So go ahead and find your answer there. Then on 4, you've got JKM has a measurement of 75. So here's JKM, going to put 75 degrees. And MKL has a measurement of 82. What is the measurement of JKL? Now for this one, this is a little bit different because now you've got a part here and a part here. Your job is to go find the whole. So instead of subtracting, now you need to add. So you're going to add 75 and 82, and that'll give you the whole. All right, same thing here. You've got a part, you need to find the whole. We don't know this part. So part, whole, you're going to add those together, and that'll give you what the whole is. So there's some more on here that you can do for independent work, and then stop at page 18, and we'll do that tomorrow. So go make sure the ones that we didn't finish, that got done for independent practice, and then hit draft on this. Excuse me. All right. Then, all right, ST Math, some practice on that and Prodigy for that. And then we continued working on our benchmark review. And then in reading, we went to Seesaw. And we went down here and opened up reading. All right, so in reading, we've been reading poetry this week. So today we did a paired passage. So these were two poems about, the first one was called The Grocery Store Pirate, and the second one's called The Pirate's Story. So we read through the first one and we went and solved the questions because remember, in a paired passage, you have the first passage is always going to be those first chunk of questions. And then your second passage is going to be the second chunk of questions. So you've got number 5 and 6 that go with pirate story. And then the last set of questions is going to be where it's comparing both. So if you notice here, it says which feature is shared by both poems, and both poems show that children what. So we read the first one together and we talked about it. And then the second one we broke into groups and sorry, I have something in my eye. The second one we broke into groups and students worked in their group to solve um, the other part. All right, and then so all those all the way to 8 should be solved. And then we had in Aware, we had to the agenda. If I could see okay here. Goodness. All right, so in the agenda, the independent work was the CFA. You've got that in Aware. It's over poetry. And then you've got the Read Across America books. The link is on Epic. So if you go back to this page 2 and click here, you are, let's see, we've done the Northeast, Southeast, Southwest, West is where we are today. So My Puppy Has a Motorcycle, Ohana Meets Family, maybe Something Beautiful. These are all the Epic books that are assigned for today. These other two that have the pink box around them, the Ivan and Pride, these you can click and watch the video of that. And so these, you can look at the states here that are covered in that region. And then in here, all right, so make sure if you were not in reading class today that you go into Aware and finish that CFA. And then in writing, we did a passage called What a Ride. So if you go to your writing assignment, open that up. Come on. There it goes. Maybe. All right, so going down. All right, so what a ride. So Patty wrote about her ride on a ferry boat at Walt Disney World. You're reading Patty's paper and looking for any edits that she needs to make. When you finish reading, answer the questions that follow. So there were 2 on here where you needed to use a dictionary because they were spelling. And there were 2 in here where you were taking something out and substituting something back in. So the first where it says change, 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 all of these words, like the word was, is being taken out and you're placing it with would have been. So whenever you go and I say read out loud, you have to read and hear how it sounds. So you're taking out the word, let's see, sentence 4, you're taking out the word was and you're replacing it with would have been. So you read it to hear how that would sound. So I would have been surprised to learn that the gigantic ship taked 600 people across the massive lake to the theme park. So you say, yes, no. And then you go to the next one. And you say you're going to change taked to could take. And so you take the word taked out and you replace it with something else, and then you read it out loud to hear how it sounds. Okay, so dictionary, dictionary, read out loud, read out loud. So we did this independently. And then we went to page 8 and we continued talking about our prompt. And I gave an example of mine here. So let me move this so you can pause and read that. And so the thing that I was showing with this is that just trying to I keep saying we're trying to level up our writing. So we've gotten the basic foundation of what needs to be in a paper. We really want to start moving more into just, I guess, I don't know, just away from those basic, transitions and stuff. Like we really want to connect more with our reader. And so just really put them, like when I'm talking about the campsite fire, the popping, sizzling, and roaring blaze of the campsite fire, the memories of its warmth and the fragrance of the marshmallows waiting to be toasted for s'mores. Like just using very a lot of that language to where your reader, when they read it, they're immediately going to jump to that place. And if they have a memory of the same thing, you've automatically connected them. And that's what you want. You want your reader to really connect with your story, and you want it to stand out. If every single paper says, you know, do you have something you're looking forward to? And every single question is, do you have something you're looking forward to? And do you have something you're looking forward to? It gets kind of boring and repetitive when, you're sitting down to read all these papers that are on the same prompt and it's the same thing, same thing. For example, my first reason, my second reason, like those things are, kind of like that's what you're doing, but you can say it in a way, like you can use transitions and say it in a way that's not going to be just like everybody else's. Okay, so just trying to move into a more unique, unique responses, I guess, is what we're looking for. So you can look at my example there of what I'm talking about, and then make sure you're taking time to fill in your boxes. And so tomorrow we're going to wrap up. So today should have finished up the body. And then tomorrow we're going to work on the conclusion and finishing up our paper with edits and revising and making sure that that's all done and complete. Then you may draft that. Then. All right, we went to lunch and recess. We came back and we started finding some measurements in our science activity here. Oops. All right, so down on page 6 is where it starts. So here you've got the definition of volume here. And so yesterday we saw when we put something in a cup of water, we were noticing how the level was rising. And so that displacement, that's we're using that to measure. And there's a graduated cylinder right here that we're going to use, and this curved surface right here. So if you look, the water, when it's in the cylinder, you get this shape like this, and the meniscus is this bottom level here that shows that's where you measure from. Okay, so not on the raised part, we're looking at this lower portion right here. So we did 4 examples. So we just used a line to kind of show where that is, where we're measuring. And so each one of these was a different container, and different containers can use different measurements. So we noticed that this one was counting by tenths. This one was counting by ones. This one was counting by tens, or not tens, by fives. No, not fives. This one was counting by twos, sorry. This one's counting by twos, this one's counting by fives, and this one's counting by tens. So the way that you test it, like if I said, oh, like I said it wrong, this one's counting by fives, and I go, okay, 5, 10, 15, 20. Well, wait a minute, that didn't work because I'm at 20 way down here, and 20 is right here. So let me try something else. Let me see if I count by tens. 10, 20. No, I'm already at 20. 20 is way up here. What if I count by ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so you have to try different things, and if it works, then yeah, you found it. If it doesn't work with the numbers already given, then you need to go back and you try something else. So when you try by twos, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay, so finding out what each of those little tick marks, what they represent, just like we do in math with a number line, and then going and finding, okay, if this is 10 and I'm counting by ones, 10, 11, 12, and then labeling it with milliliters. So lowercase m, uppercase L is how you represent that. And so practice there so you can draft this when you're done. And then we went and we ran out of time. Where am I going? We ran out of time with the with reading earlier because the pirate questions took us a while. So we didn't do the CFA during reading time. So after science, we went back and we did the CFA, and then I just had everybody do social studies on their own. So make sure you got done the Thursday article questions, and then you can click on this document right here, and it tells you can read about Lizzie Johnson Williams. There's some information there that's interesting about her life. And then for intervention today, we looked at some examples of some from the benchmark that got a rating of a 4, and just kind of talked about those and kind of what made those a 4. And that was it. So tomorrow, right here. All right, so tomorrow is wear your favorite jersey or your workout gear. And then Fun Friday, we're going to have our rocks that we're going to paint. So make sure, hopefully you picked up your rock from at school. If not, you can provide your own. It's no problem. And then make sure you have your paints ready to go. Make sure you have like a oversized shirt or something that you can put over your clothes or apron or something to where you're not messing up your clothes, and already think about what's going to be your clean work area where you can work, and just get everything that you'll need for painting your rocks tomorrow. And then once you're done painting, think about, okay, where am I going to put this to dry, and kind of plan all that out with your families. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.